Spongebob here, and wow, just found out that Stephen Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, passed away from Lou Gehrig's disease, and that's just really depressing. To be honest, SpongeBob SquarePants, that was my favorite show growing up as a kid. I still have really fond memories of just absolutely loving that show to the point where it annoyed my parents. But this is really depressing news, and if I could, I would have, made a better video tribute that actually showed footage from the show, but then I remembered that I had a lot of accounts from the past that were taken down by Viacom thanks to using clips from their show, despite the fact that I used them just for fair use, just to make harmless little edits. So, bad history with that, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to play like a little tribute reel, but instead the best I can do is just show some fan art, and I drew this picture today in memory of Stephen Hillenburg, and he will sorely be missed. Oh man, he was living proof that, a long-running show can still work as long as you got people who know what they're doing working on it. Because without a doubt, Stephen Hillenburg, he worked on the show for the first 3 seasons, starting from 1998 to 2004. And his last project at the time was the Spongebob SquarePants movie, which was supposed to be the finale of the series, but the movie did so much better than, they were expecting, and so Nickelodeon renewed the show without the creator, and so from there on out, like season 4 and 5, some can agree that they weren't too bad, but I'd say it wasn't until season 6 where the show started going down a huge decline in quality that kept building up, and it wasn't until Stephen Hillenburg returned back around 2014, I think it was, when they released the Sponge Out of Water movie, and that surprisingly did pretty well, and it renewed faith in the series. Stephen Hillenburg then returned to the show, and ever since then the show's had quite a comeback, and I mean, it's still not as good as it used to be, but, it's still a mixed bag. There are some episodes that are way too quirky, but without a doubt, the show has still made a strong recovery. It's got a majority of good episodes now. You can tell the show recently has reinvented itself, and it uses much more exaggerated animations, but really fluid animations. Some of the humor goes back to the wittiness of the original, but the only downside is it kind of relies on a lot more gross out humor nowadays. But okay, getting off topic, but it just goes to show that Stephen Hillenburg really did a lot for the show. I mean, you could definitely see a difference from when he was on the show and when he was off the show, and the show's just not going to be the same without him. But, I have SpongeBob to thank for a lot of things. It was one of my major influences for wanting to get into art. I mean, even my series, Nick Clunk and Trio, that was a huge inspiration from SpongeBob's art style, but with a little more inspirations mixed in. And, so, if it weren't for SpongeBob, I wouldn't have had my series, and heck, I wouldn't even have my username, because Spongic X, that's a mixture of both SpongeBob and Sonic X. At the time when I first started, I was a real huge fan of both of those shows, but can't really say I'm a huge fan of Sonic X anymore. I mean, I still like Sonic, but Sonic X has poorly aged, but I still have fond memories of SpongeBob. Heck, I'd still be watching the show if it weren't for the fact that Viacom has become so stingy lately, and it's downright impossible to watch new episodes without flat out buying the season off Amazon Prime. And I just want to simply do something as simple as tune in to Hulu or Sling TV and watch the new episodes, but no, regular Nickelodeon is not available for a lot. Well, Nickelodeon's available for Hulu, but only for a few shows. But Sling TV, you can get the Nicktoons channel and T-Nick, but you cannot get Nicktoons. Well, Nickelodeon, I mean, for some reason, and it's just really stupid. So, I really want to tune into a lot of these new episodes, and I can't. And the only way I'm able to really watch these is if I'm ever at my parents' house. They still have cable, and, I watch them through on demand, but not every episode gets there right away. A lot of them don't last very long. So there are times where I get there and I missed out on some of them already. And I mean, money's a little bit of a tight spot right now, so I can't just flat out buy seasons 10 and 11. Those are the only ones I don't have yet. But I got seasons 1 through 9 on DVD, though. And so, it's a real shame. I've wanted to support this show for quite a while, and I really can't. But I mean, especially now after what happened, it really makes me want to watch all those episodes I've missed, but Stephen Hillenburg, you are really going to be missed. I mean, I just want to thank you for really making my lonely, depressing childhood that much more relieving. I mean, SpongeBob always knew how to make me laugh when I was feeling down, and I will never forget that. So, thank you very much for all the fun characters, settings, episodes, and even movies that you provided. And hopefully, people at Nickelodeon and the crew of the show can continue to make SpongeBob, last for as long as it can. Because I do not want to see the series die. And I really hope, I could tell by a lot of feedback I've seen on both Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr that you meant a lot to a lot of people. I've even seen some people you worked for, mentioning how great of a person you were to work with, and a lot of those really touched me. So, rest in peace, Stephen Hillenburg. This is Spongic X. Thank you for watching. Bye.